Hello everyone. I believe that this world is a soul and spirit farm, and the people are being fooled in all sorts of ways so that they remain unaware of their own farming. I will give you a couple of examples of how our creator entities or gods are using means of propaganda in order to spread their trickery among the masses. I have been thinking a lot about the phenomena of reincarnation. Cases of reincarnation are a fact of reality. But if we look closer and examine these cases, we will see that something is wrong. There are a few inconsistencies. The cases are evenly spread across the world. The number of cases seem to be limited. They are not too many and not too few. It is as if the number of cases of reincarnation is just big enough to keep the phenomenon alive. I believe that reincarnation is an example of divine propaganda. Our creator entities, or if you will, our gods, are purposely reassigning a limited number of souls after death in order to create the illusion that reincarnation is the routine way of doing things. It's just a trick. A constant stream of a limited number of cases is being used to give the false impression that all people will be reincarnated after that. There is a case of a 7-year-old girl in India that has vivid memories of her past life. In fact, she was reincarnated in the same neighborhood of her previous life, and she was able to point out her previous house. She knew the names of all the members of the family. She even pointed out many details which proved that she was indeed the incarnation of the deceased member of that family. Now we can imagine what the implications are of even one such case. The word-to-mouth promotion went through the roof. Such cases make the evening news. Tens of millions of people immediately and automatically start to believe that all of them will be reincarnated after death. So we see that even one of such cases can have quite an impact on the masses. The idea of an additional form of existence gives people the comfort needed for them to be happy. When people are happy, they reproduce. It's also needless to say that in the aftermath of such events, there is just no place for critical thinking. Another example of divine propaganda are the ghost sightings. Everyone has heard of them, and many people have had first-hand experiences. The same pattern emerges here as in the cases of reincarnation. Ghost sightings are also evenly spread across the world. The number of cases is also limited. There are not too many and not too few. They are just enough to keep the phenomena of ghost sightings alive. Now let me explain why a scary encounter with a ghost is actually beneficial to our creators. People say that a ghost sighting is spooky and horrible. And that is true, but a ghost sighting gives also the idea of additional forms of existence. People are actually being subconsciously comforted by such phenomenon. A ghost sighting is considered evidence of an afterlife. The long-term effects of such sightings are that people become convinced that there is more after death for everyone. And that is exactly the purpose of the divine propaganda. That is the trick. A limited number of spirits are not being harvested after death, but are being allowed to continue to exist, sometimes for centuries. All of this is being done by our gods with the purpose of inducing a feeling of comfort and to give the masses a false impression that all spirits live forever. Now let's raise some important questions. Perhaps all souls do reincarnate or continue to exist in spiritual form, so isn't it possible that both the reincarnation and ghost sightings phenomena are indeed a preview of what all people will receive after death? I find such notion unrealistic, and here are a few points in support of my skepticism. If reincarnation was a routine way of doing things, then all people should have memories of previous lives. This is simply not the case. The ghost sightings disprove even more the illusion that additional forms of existence is there for everyone. If every deceased person continues to live in a spiritual form, then the world should be teeming with ghosts. It has been estimated that around 100 billion people have lived and died so far. The current number of living people is around 7 billion. So, for every living person, there should be more than 10 ghosts out there. The ratio of ghosts versus living people should be 13:1. We should be living in a predominantly ghost-filled society. This is, however, not the case. So where are all these billions of human spirits? What about the fact that many, if not all, of the ghosts that are being seen are dressed? They are wearing clothes. Now, how can that be? Isn't the spirit also supposed to be shapeless or formless? Now, am I asking stupid questions? Well, maybe I am, but let's keep asking a few more. Why do we also see ghosts dressed in medieval clothes? Do they have the purpose of fooling us into believing that all spirits live on for centuries? I believe they do. It's also an example of divine trickery. There is also the issue of animal spirits. People claim to have seen the spirit of their deceased pet. Yet, strangely enough, not all people see the spirits of their deceased pets. The number of cases in which people do is, once again, limited. I believe that those cases are another example of divine propaganda. We slaughter millions of pieces of cattle each day, but we don't see those millions of animal spirits. Where are they? I could go on a bit longer, but let me conclude this video with a few more words. Ghost sightings, as well as the cases of reincarnation, are, in my opinion, nothing more than divine propaganda. The highly advanced entities who bioengineered all life are, in my opinion, feeding on the spirits and souls of all living creatures. I believe that 99.99% of all spirits and souls are being harvested after death, and the remaining 0.01% of spirits and souls are being used as means of propaganda. There could be a few exceptions in regards to the souls of people who have developed certain abilities during their lives and are therefore more valuable. But in general, I have to say that many, if not all, of the reincarnation cases as well as the ghost sightings are examples of divine trickery. Their purpose is to create a false impression that we and all creatures continue to exist after death. Creating such impressions of continuation in our existence is key in keeping a high level of productivity on this soul and spirit farm. Now, I understand that my hypothesis is a harsh one, and therefore I will give you, for what it's worth, 3 reasons why it shouldn't affect your lives. The first reason is the fact that even if I'm right, we can't change anything about it. It's just the nature of our existence, and there is no point in worrying about the matter. The second reason is the religious claim of hell. Can you imagine the horror of burning in a lake of fire for all eternity and without the possibility to get out? I don't know about you, but personally, I prefer my hypothesis over the concept of hell. The third reason why you shouldn't pay too much attention to it is because of the possibility that I could be wrong. Now, I don't think that I am, but I could be. Well, this was it for now. Please share, like and comment. Let me know what you think of it. Be well. Bye.